I want to take a minute. This event, this day would not have been possible without the volunteers, from our timekeeper Laura to our bag hand-outers to Carrie and Judy and Tara, to the people that brought the food in, and speaking of food, there's a lot out there, to Megan, who did a lot of running for us. And then on top of that, we have incredible sponsors like Des Moines Amplified, that you're going to be able to see all of this live online, but give us a couple of days and it'll also be put up on Blip TV. So just pay attention to the website and we'll get you there. For the speakers, won't it be nice to have your own 10 minutes that you can put in your portfolio? I would think so. Headway Themes, they've been, I love them. I do my website with them. And they're also offering a great discount to use too. Verizon, you know, they gave away a Zoom. They put the bags together. They've done some pretty awesome things as well. And there's a lot of names on here. Desk Active, does everybody feel better? Yeah, I thought so. It was kind of fun. The t-shirts that the speakers got. Joe, would you stand up? I'm going to make Joe stand up. She's wearing one from 87 Central right here in town. Let's talk about Jocelyn Wallace. She's doing incredible things here. Yeah, I say. We love it. And Come and Go, gas cards. And one more person I want to introduce. Albert, would you come up and talk about possibilities for maybe some people in the audience?
Well, I want to talk about just two things real quick. First of all, big props to Des Moines. I do social media for a long time. I'm one of those old veteran guys. And when Verizon was looking to really get engaged in social media, and their markets were here in Nebraska and the Dakotas, when we looked on who's on Twitter, not just who, but how many, Karen mentioned 4,200. That's a lot. And not only is it 4,200, but they're really engaged 4,200. So props to everyone down here for being committed over time to each other. And there's a lot of talk about community.
That's you guys.
Yeah, that's all you. Absolutely. Absolutely. And because of this, companies, I think, are looking in two ways at social media. Way number one still will be measurement. How many this, how many that, how many hashtags. It's just the way the world works, and that's okay. It helps pay bills and sponsor stuff. However, there is also another dimension, and that is being in the community, being a part of it, listening to the pros and cons. Where's Jody? Jody, a great writer, and no nonsense, good, bad, and ugly about all different kinds of products, all different kinds of travel. And that's the good thing. That's what corporate America needs to hear. So to the extent that you are blogging in any one of a number of areas, and you are interested in looking at devices, you are interested in using stuff and writing about the good, bad, and ugly of it, companies like Verizon are looking to engage. So follow Karen VZW or follow me, and we can talk about it if you're interested in that kind of thing. And thank you so much for inviting me down, Deb.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
There's this town in Iowa called Ames, and they have a university there. What's it called, Sam? Iowa State University. Sam's going to speak now. I had to represent them. Yep. Pat, I'm really glad you brought that little stool. Yeah. Are you going to put this in some kind of solvent?
I don't think so. No,
okay. Okay.
We can test the Zoom right out. That'd be fine. All right. Thank you much. All righty. Well, today, I'm kind of late in the schedule here, but I've gotten an incredible amount out. I could just walk out now and feel good about today, just all the interesting people I've had the opportunity to hear speak and new knowledge. And I guess before I start, let me give a couple nuggets out to a couple people. If whatever I say here is not any value to you. and I think he's actually gone, but the guy that was talking about potty training his 3-year-old son, we actually used the iPad and Netflix and rewarded him by letting him use the iPad while he was on the potty. And I tell you what, 2 days later, he was potty trained. No questions there. And then I think it was Claire. I am a product of an internship for the Sigler companies, and I've been now working there for 8 years. So internships are definitely great. So my name is Sam Schill, and a little bit about me. I'm a husband. I married a wonderful woman, at Jenny Schill on Twitter. I'm a father. I have 2 kids. Just had a 2-year-old birthday for my daughter yesterday, which was really fun. I'm a business development and marketing guy during the day, and many hours at night as well, working for the Sigler companies. And I'm also an aspiring urban farmer. You can follow me there at OVR Grown on Twitter. At the Sigler companies, just to provide you a little bit of context about my talk today, we have a unique company, and our tagline is a global approach to marketing communications. Global in 2 ways. One, we work all around the country. Secondly, globally, meaning that we have services and expertise in-house that can provide all types of solutions. We have a commercial print facility, we have a full-service agency, and we also have a branded and apparel and merchandising company. And we have 250 employees with expertise that range in all of those services. So when we look at all these new technologies that I think I have every one possible in front of me here, mobile is making things relevant in different ways. And specifically today I'm going to talk about how we need to be thinking about print. Though we're all very social technology minded, we need to consider how print plays a role in that. So when I started at the Sigler companies in 2004, print was like the deal for me then. Our company was growing really, really fast, and I jumped right in as a project manager working with paper. I knew about grains of paper, stocks of paper, colors of paper, textures of paper. I knew everything about inks and metallics and all this stuff, and I was in and out. We were printing so much stuff, direct mail, annual reports, posters. The whole idea of the spray and pray direct mail strategy was totally the bee's knees at that point. We were doing a lot of pieces of mail. Things have changed since then. As I became an account executive of the company and then worked directly more with customers, we were starting to talk about this thing called email marketing. So around 2006, we began to discuss and add staff and expertise to help people with email marketing. Well, as many marketers saw email as an opportunity to basically send a physical direct mail piece, but it's going to cost me a lot less because I can just buy lists, I can email people, I can blast out stuff to people at pennies in comparison to what you could do with direct mail. So we talked to people about that. Obviously, think about strategies how you can connect print to email, but email was definitely looked like a magic bullet for a while there. Now, as we've continued on, online catalogs have turned into online stores, billboards or physical signage turned into banner ads, things that could be moved around on all sorts of websites. That was a very significant a way to get in front of your customers, so it seemed. Also, and then now with this whole mobile technology era, obviously with the Zoom and the Nexus S and the iPhone and the iPad, an app can take care of whatever your need philosophy is totally in. You can pay with your phone with Dwala. You can explore your city with Foursquare, redeem specials, all types of different things you can do with mobile phones that were never possible. So I'm a tech nerd by trade. As a business development guy for the company, I have the ability to basically exclusively interact with startup companies in Des Moines and New York City and San Francisco as part of what I do. And it's been interesting being in these folks' offices. We work with Foursquare and GroupMe and Meetup and various other companies in New York City, and we're going into the hubs of where people are creating these social media platforms. And we start to see that some people they aren't talking about email blasts. They're talking about some physical goods. Hey, we're really good at physical goods, and we also can help you connect with your online communities via social media. So what is happening now? So we've gone from, in the last 8 years of my experience, we've gone from print to email to online to mobile to now these unbelievable phones. But I'm going to argue that print is part of this interactivity between all of them. We need to continue to think about how print plays a role. For example, I have a few here to show you. If anybody has seen, Google has launched this campaign or program called Google Places. Now, I think Portland, Oregon, and only a couple select cities, Austin, Texas, have the ability to do this at this point. But in combination with the Google Places Cling and the Nexus S phone with near-field communication technology in it, these can interact with each other. Does anybody know what near-field communications is? Is there very many? Yes. So there is within this phone they have near-field communications, which means I can tap this Google Places sticker, icon thing that's printed that you put on your storefront window, and it'll interact with the phone and bring me to a URL or bring me to something specific. In this case, what Google is doing is encouraging people to leave reviews on businesses that they visit. So instead of remembering, am I really going to go do that, you can just tap it, it brings you right up to the review page, you can plug in the review. So the interactivity now between your high-tech phone and just a physical thing that needs to be in front of people's faces to remind them to do it is a big deal. Another interesting one that's recently happened and a coworker of mine brought to my attention is Zappos. So Zappos saw the opportunity to start selling shoes online because catalogs were very popular. People were receiving catalogs, a print version, and then buying shoes. Well, interesting enough, they obviously took this online and were very successful. But just recently, bam, he received a print catalog in the mail. So it was very interesting to see that a company that was built grew very quickly from an online sales perspective is now considering, you know what, this still works. And even better, I can now encourage people to get part of our VIP programs. I can get them on my Facebook. I can get them on my Twitter. But sometimes you may need to throw this old school catalog in front of them to remind them that they need to go to these places and do that. Another quick one, obviously, these are, you can't really see it that great, but this is a Foursquare check-in here cling. We actually produce these and send them all over the world. But reminding people to check in on Foursquare. Another thing, like I have this Foursquare app, it's awesome, but I kind of forget to use it sometimes, and I see this cling, a physical piece, something that's printed, that can remind me to now interact with my Foursquare app and go on from there. And one last one, QR codes, which I think are actually kind of old school for this type of stuff, have the ability to point people to different URLs or to download specific songs if you're a band or get someone to something very specific with a scanner on your phone. So as I mentioned, print is definitely part of interactive. So what do we do as marketers about this idea? What are some of the things we need to consider when we do this? We first need to figure out where people are interacting, where they're reading, where they're going, and use print as a catalyst to put them into places where you can then measure their activity. Now, I've mentioned just many examples here where you see a physical piece, you have the opportunity to interact with your phone, tap it, take a picture of it, scan it, and it'll bring you to something. Hopefully, bring it to your Twitter page, bring it to a rewards program, bring it to your Facebook page, where then you can interact with a relationship with them on there. Print can also actually legitimize, I believe, your web presence. Sometimes when you're just an online company, you have a bunch of great tweets and a bunch of great Facebook posts, you're just kind of in this this online world. Well, giving someone a substantial piece, a print piece, something that looks nice, that feels good, can legitimize your brand and your company. And when people are interacting with inside your storefronts or your venues, your restaurants, your retail stores, again, use table tents, use different pieces, hand something out in someone's bag when they buy something, remind them to get back to their Facebook or Twitter. Again, something very simple to do, but a lot of people are missing opportunities there. And we're also now seeing great examples of ways to give people insights into specific things, like example of a real estate agent that gives the ability to use your phone to scan their real estate sign or their brochures that then brings them to a tour of the home on your phone. So again, without the interaction of a physical piece potentially outside the home or a different piece that a realtor hands you, that was the way to lead you into a very interactive way to see and be a part of reviewing a home that you may be purchasing. So in closing, our company really looks at everything from print to interactive to promotions to kits to mailing. But something very important for us techie people is that we need to consider some of these old school things like print to make sure that we're tying back to, and getting people connected to our Facebook, Twitter, and social networks. Thank you.